Historical Materialism, Chapter 4, by Maurice Cornforth. How Society Develops, the Mode of Production. The whole development of society is determined by the development of the productive forces and consequent changes in the relations between men in production. The productive forces and the production relations of a given period together constitute the mode of production. From division of labor in production emerge private property, and so the rise of exploitation and the division of society into antagonistic classes. In the development of society, there have arisen 5 types of production relations: primitive communism, slavery, feudalism, capitalism, socialism. Production of the means of life. Historical materialism finds the key to the laws of development of society in the simple fact that mankind must first of all eat, drink, have shelter and clothing before it can pursue politics, science, art, religion, etc. From Engels, the speech given at the graveside of Karl Marx. Before people can do anything else, they must obtain the means of life, food, clothing, and shelter, and they obtain the means of life not as a free gift from nature, but by associating together to produce their necessities of life and to exchange the things produced. Only on the basis of associating to produce and exchange the means of life can they develop and pursue any of their other social interests. Hence, the production of the immediate material means of subsistence and consequently the degree of economic development attained by a given people or during a given epoch form the foundation upon which the state institutions, the legal conceptions, the ideas on art, and even on religion of the people concerned have been evolved. This was Engels, again at the speech at the graveside of Karl Marx. And hence, the production of the means to support human life and, next to production, the exchange of things produced, is the basis of every social order. In every society that has appeared in history, the distribution of the products, and with it the division of society into classes, is determined by what is produced and how it is produced and how the product is exchanged. Engels, Socialism, Utopian and Scientific, Chapter 3. In this way, historical materialism traces back the ultimate cause of the whole movement of society to the conditions of material life of society and to changes in the conditions of material life. These conditions of material life include, of course, the natural geographical environment in which society exists. Their geographical environment is bound to influence people's social life, inasmuch as it conditions what they do and are able to do. But what determines the change and development of social life is not the geographical environment, which changes very little, but the changing methods which people inhabiting given territories find of producing their means of living. What determines social development is not surrounding nature, but the methods people adopt of wresting their material requirements from nature. The conditions of material life, on the change of which the whole development of society depends, are conditions which people themselves create by their own activity of making their living, of producing the means of life. We can verify this by the history of our own country, or in this case of Maurice Cornforth, Britain. Britain has changed very little in a geographical sense during the last 2,000 years. Yet in this period, the conditions of material life of the people living in Britain have changed fundamentally. From the ancient British tribal society, we have evolved to modern capitalist society, and will soon advance to socialism. This whole development rests on the fact that in these years the people have cleared the scrub and forest which used to cover the most fertile areas, have developed agriculture, have mined for coal and mineral wealth, have built ships to carry goods back and forth across the world, have built great industries. And as they have done these things, the whole of their social relations have undergone a series of transformations, while the institutions and ideas of the people have alike undergone fundamental changes. The way in which people produce and exchange their means of life is known as the mode of production. Every society is based on a mode of production, which is what ultimately determines the character of all social activities and institutions. In the course of the history of society, the mode of production has undergone considerable changes. It has developed from the most primitive economy of food-gathering and hunting tribes up to the socialist economy, which has been born in the present century. One mode of production has followed upon another, and this economic change and development, this change and development of the mode of production of the material means of life, constitutes the basis of the whole of social development. The materialist conception of history, then, raises three major questions. 1. To define more exactly what are the chief factors which go to constitute the mode of production and changes in which constitute changes in the mode of production. 2. To examine the laws governing the changes in the mode of production as the basic laws of development of human society. 3. To examine the laws whereby the whole superstructure of social views and institutions arises and changes on the basis of changes in the mode of production. The first question will be dealt with further in this chapter, the second in chapters 5 and 6, and the third in chapters 7 and 8.